Isn't it interesting that as the light changes in late autumn, I feel inclined to clean up and tie up loose ends before the colder weather sets in. With that, I've been looking through my footage taken this year, and I found a little spread I have yet to share with you. The journal page is about 8 inches square and began with a few scraps. I didn't know how it was going to turn out when I started sticking and gluing, but I'm quite pleased with the results. I started the page much like I often do, taping off the edges. Then I went in with a bit of neutral collage before stenciling with some gesso. Once that first layer was dry, I added a few sprinkles of Brusho, which I then activated with water. The color mixed to a lovely olive green, but I wanted to bring back some of the blue, so I added a bit more pigment, which I activated with water. Working in layers, I always make sure everything is dry before moving on. And now it was time to add some collage. The piece I had a little piece missing from a die cut, and I thought it might add some texture. I then went in with some Quinacridone Azure Gold and painted the shapes to see if I could make them stand out against the background. In the end, I didn't like the way it looked, so I ended up spreading more color along the edge of the page. I was getting stuck, so my go-to way to get past that feeling is to add more collage. I find it instantly gives me something new to react to on the page. The turning point was when I added the butterfly, and I knew then that I had a focal point. Using gesso, I painted over the wings to draw the shape to the front. Then using watercolors, I started to add in some color. Once that layer was dry, I went in with my Inktense pencils to go around the butterfly. Then, using a water brush, I went around the shape to define the edges. I also used some gesso to add more white to make sure the butterfly had separation from the background. Then once everything was dry, I added some mark making. This is always my favorite part. Then I looked through my box of quotes and found one I thought would match well. The very last step was to remove the tape. I always use my heat gun to help release the glue, and it really does help reduce the chances of the paper ripping. Well, I hope you've enjoyed seeing the process, and I'll see you next time.